Okay, so we've got another single point perspective demo here. I'm just going to sketch this in. Now if you look on the right hand side, you can see that we've got a clear disappearing point vaguely in the middle of the road, which is quite far over. It's about here, but it's about halfway up. And from here we have the road coming around a slight corner, and then this does something like that. So I'm going to sketch this out now with some ink. So I'm using my Opus 88 eyedropper pen. Just undo the valve on the end. Seems a bit mad, but that's how they work, these ones. So we'll start here, vaguely top left. There is a and then we've got some of these stone. There's a really big stone down here, and then obviously this is grass down here, so it's not going to be a straight line. There's a big stone here. So you can see that the courses of the bricks are coming in vaguely, because they're all going to vaguely here. So if I was to, there's a big stone here, isn't there? Now I'm not trying to obviously replicate exactly what's there, because there's no point doing that. But you can sort of suggest. Okay. Right, so there's one. Now I think this is going to be slightly less detailed just because it's further back, but I still need to suggest the textures of the roof. So we're gonna a bit of a jagged line in there. So there's also some stone wall goodness here. Just doing some light line work. There we go. I'm going to start actually to put a few thicker lines around the edge of these. I might do that with the old pen here. Let's do that. Let's try this one. There we go. So we're slowly inking our way across this. So I've kind of screwed a bit of this up a tiny bit. I think there's a door there. Was a big. I've kind of sketched this out to plan it and then kind of messed up. Massive stonework here. Interesting building. So then we've got another old big lintel. That's what they call me, big lintel. So obviously this is all brickwork, but if you were to draw every single one of these bricks, you could do, but it'd take a while. I'm not that bothered by that. What I want to do is give you a sense of scale by drawing some in here, and then these ones are going to be bigger here. Is I'm going to wet the sky. Bit of water up there, and then I'm going to mix some blue. And just put a little right, and that's it. I'll leave that there. A little bit of that blue will come down into there. It might not. Matters not. That's that done. Now we've got some of that blue here, and I'm going to mix a little bit of my own green. So I'm going to take this Hansa yellow, mix that in there, a bit more French ultramarine in there, with this nice dark green. And I'm going to use this for the grass that runs through the middle here. This is sort of the base colour. Some slightly dilute green for this bit back here. As you can see, I am being quite I'm not being too careful with this. There is some shadow in this picture. I'm going to change it. I'm going to add and take away some of my own shadow. I want to make it a bit more dramatic. Okay. Could leave that there. Looks really nice. So I'm going to use a bit of this natural sienna, and I'm going to create some base layers for the path. Now I know the green's mixing in with that. I don't really care. It's fine as it is. There we go. And then I'm going to use the same on this right hand side, where this barn is a sort of beautiful honey colour. And I'm going to add in a tiny bit of Queen Acadone gold there. I'm going to probably add a little bit of that into this wall in places as well. I'm going to add some. There's going to be some shadow, some not shadow. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to add it up here as well. Yeah, dilute as well. Back here. There we go. Now I'm going to dry that. And then, actually, no, I'll probably add some grey. Maybe a bit of grey. Too much. Yeah. Let's just see if I add this in now. It'll be interesting to see. Let's try this as a bit experiment. I'm going to try and add the shadow colour in first, and then add the colour, the tone on top of that, instead of adding in the dark blue after. Let's just add that in first. I quite like it. I like the tones there. The blue, bit of Van Dyke brown. As you can see, you don't have to be precious at all about this. I'm being quick, and I think being quick often makes you there's some shadow across there. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to put that shadow line in there. And then I'm going to use a slightly darker colour. There we go. Right, I'll try that, do another layer. Now, if you were going to do like an accurate watercolour of this, you would probably do layers and layers and layers and layers, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing a sort of slightly abbreviated version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting in some colour variation. I don't think we're far off with this. I like it like this. I don't think it really needs anything, because I might put a slightly harder edge to that shadow. So I'll mix another little bit of grey. Just want to firm that shadow up a bit. I know I've just put some stuff on there, but get rid of that bit there. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to use the rest of that. Even though I've just put some highlights in there, I'm going to go in. Now, obviously, if I was doing a bit more of an accurate painting here, I would use the proper colour tones for the various things. Like grass, dark grass is not blue. And a dark stone wall is not just blue, but what I'm doing is I'm coming up with a bit of a shortcut. Okay, there's a few of the bits I could put in here. Let's just try and use some sympathetic colours over there. It helps sort of link things together a bit. There we go. Right, a few little spots. Add a bit of texture to that. Then I think we're done. I'm calling that. Right, I'll just give it a bit of a hair dry. Right, I've got to go and get my little girl from school, but before that I should have time to do the last few little finishing touches on this one. I like this, I think this has worked out quite well. There is a little bit of shadow that I have missed that goes under there. I'm going to put a bit under there as well. There we go. I'm not sure about that, but I'm going to leave that one there. Okay, I'm just going to do a tiny little bit more pen work. I'm fiddling now. Should just stop. Right, so I was going to do a tiny bit more pen work on the foreground here. I know it doesn't have holes between the stones, it's actually got mortar on. But I just wanted to suggest some gaps in the walls, just to try and add, again, a little bit more interest. Make these stand out a bit. I could go back over these, but I don't want to labour the point. There we go. And then I could just add some dots. There we go, I'm calling it. So that's it. So as you can see in this, there is kind of perspective in one side, slightly different in the other, because these bands are offset. They also might not be truly parallel, and even if they are truly parallel, there's one there, one there, one there, and as they go back, they go slightly uphill. So the perspective in that building might not be the same in that building. So even though it is single point perspective, it's a single point for that side, a single point for, say, that one, and those two together. But when you start looking at the drawing and you start looking at the roof lines and all those horizontal lines and where they converge, you can build it. You can build it as you go. And it actually, the perspective, the theory of one point perspective works more as a check than a guide, because you could actually sketch this just by looking at it. But that perspective, once you start looking, it confirms that things are right, basically. Hope you like that one. It's nice, like the shadow in that. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Ta-ra!